everybody, Jim from Jim's Coleus and Coleus. Hey, this is my beloved Yorkie Chooch. I had a pillow made out for him. He passed away in 2010, but he was my first Yorkie, and I loved him dearly. So I had a pillow, a full size. Actually, he's bigger than life. He was only about 4 pounds, but these are magnificent pillows, and they're so. I walk in the room and I think he's there still, but he was such a sweetheart. So Chooch, live on over the Rainbow Bridge. So here are my other Yorkies. Here's Newton. This is Chooch's brother. He's 13 now, and of course Beauregard. We adopted him through a family member. So a little messy today. So we're gonna get a hurricane. We're getting Hurricane Ida, or the remnants of it. So I'm going to spend a little time securing things. So although my growing season is over, I do have a few plants off of my own that I'm keeping for seeds. I have a lot of them, some of them separated in my greenhouse that are open. I just was checking, and there was a couple of them getting pollinated. There was some honeybees in there pollinating a few of the colossal marbles that are separated. So they're getting pollinated, and some of the pots of the larger pots that are on my property that I can move, I move them inside of my greenhouse, because I don't, Coleus, once they get older and they're larger, the stalks they're susceptible to break. And of course, for those of you who don't know, and maybe you're following me for the first time here, what can you do if you have a beautiful Coleus and the branch broke? Maybe you were moving it, cleaning it, taking something, or it fell and it broke. What can you do with that? You don't want to throw that branch away, that stem. What can you do? All right, so here's my fish net. It's a huge fish net, and I'm going to try to fit this in my greenhouse. It's going to be hard to get it through the door. So anyway, if I do and a branch breaks off, we can root it. Now here's a perfect example. This is a Lord Baltimore. This is an old plant. This is those, if you've been following along, this is two of the rootings that I kept along my living room window. And a couple of days ago, we got some really heavy rain, and the pot fell over, and a couple of, you can see right here, got some, as the fall progresses, I don't spend as much time cleaning these out, because I know I only got another month or so until I have to say goodbye to some of these. But as you can see, I lost a couple of stems. So what do I do? What do I want to do? And one of them had a seed stalk growing. So I was pretty upset. So what do I do? What can you do? Okay, so it's a little ominous out here. It's windy. Again, I'm by the coast, so we had a really bad thunderstorm pass by before, but we're just starting to get the wind from Ida. But anyway, here is one of the stems from that Lord Baltimore, and this is the seed stalk, and it's continuing to grow. Now this broke, like I said, about a week ago, so I put it in this jar, in this cup. It's a pretty big rooting. It's actually, I think there's 2 in here. It's a pretty big rooting, and these are very thick, hardy stems. So what you do, you cut them just like when you get cut flowers. Cut them on an angle, and I shave a little bit of the outer membrane, because they're almost like a bark, almost like a tree. So I usually shave that a little bit, and it helps it root a little better. So but I'm keeping this one outside right now because I want it to be pollinated. So I have it up here protected under my patio, and later on I'm going to bring it. It's now starting to get windy. I'm going to bring it inside until after the storm goes, because I really don't want it falling over. I really want to save this for the seeds, because I really need seeds. And I finally got seeds. Now this is for years now, I just haven't been able to get seeds from this, so I'm pretty excited that I got some Lord Voldemort seeds. Okay, so if you've been following along, you'll recognize these. These are my Jealousy, my Anderson Jealousy windows, in my living room, and these are perfect for these bud vases. And I keep my rootings up here. So here's a perfect example. Again, this was the first one that broke off of that plant, because again it was so old and it was getting brittle. So it broke. I think it fell over, or my son might have hit it, even though it's on the side there. It fell over, so I rooted it. You can see it's already got a really extensive root ball. So if this is your first time visiting my channel, any Coleus branch that breaks off that you want to keep, or if you want to create more Coleus, if you want to make another Coleus plant, you could do that. And that's what's so great about Coleus plants. So you can have a large Coleus like that, like the fishnet outside. I can make hundreds of Coleus plants just by rooting that. So if you have friends that come over, oh, I love that plant, I love that plant, you can cut a rooting, put it in water, let it sit a few weeks, and you don't have to wait for it to get rooted. You don't need to get extensive roots like this, but you can let it root. You'll start to see these roots start to form in about a week. Let them form a couple of weeks, and then you could pot it. Or you can actually pot it. Some people use root hormone. You can do that. You can just wet the stem, put it in moist soil, dip it in root hormone, dip it in, put it in the soil. That's another way you go. I never use root hormone because honestly, Coleus root cuttings, they just root so quickly. And I enjoy this. I enjoy rooting them. I enjoy putting them in these vases. And then again, you can, if you want to pot and make another plant, just wait for a few weeks, wait till the roots start to show, put it in a good drained pot, relative to the size of the rooting, good quality Miracle Grow or equivalent potting soil, and pot the rooting, and you can give that to your friend. It's a great gift. So just an idea. So I do keep rootings all winter, all fall and winter. These are pretty hardy, so I'm very, very confident that these are going to make it until the spring, because obviously this is a rooting from the mother plant. So this is technically 3 years old. And here's a more recent one that broke. And this is about 2 weeks, I guess. So they root pretty extensive. Their Coleus plants root pretty extensively once you put them in water. And I get these colored vases at the dollar store, and they're perfect for these windows. They come in different shapes and sizes, and I have a whole bunch of them. And as the fall comes, if you're following along, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I have so many videos on everything Coleus, depending on where you live in the world. If you're in Australia, spring is starting. You're gonna be starting your seeds. I have plenty of videos on that. So check out my long list of videos on Jim's Coleus, the Whole Use of Coleus, and go over to my Instagram channel. If you have any questions, contact me there, and I'll be happy to help you out, whatever questions you have. So anyway, I love rooting my Coleus. They're perfect for these windows. And here is a perfect example. Here's an Inky Fingers Coleus. And that stem broke on me. I was on my way home. I didn't sell the plant. I was on my way home from the farmer's market, and it was in the back of my pickup truck. I was using a pickup truck at the time, and the branch broke. So I only have one Inky Fingers plant, so I rooted it. And you can see this is only a week, not even a week. And look at this. Look at the stems. Look at the roots. So this is a very healthy Lord Voldemort. They're pretty hardy. Their leaves are very hardy. That's another thing with Coleus. You'll find some varieties are a little hardier texture. They're kind of rougher, heavier, thicker. Others are more soft, like some of the Kongs, the smaller, delicate ones, are Those tend to maybe not make it through a whole season, but these are pretty confident at. And another way to make sure that your rootings make it through the fall and winter is water changes. Make sure you change the water at least every week. Gently rinse the root ball out. Make sure there's no debris. Rinse it and then refill it with water at least every week because it's important. It will really make a difference on making sure that your rootings will make it through the fall and winter. And these will make it through till next season. All right, so here's my famous bay window. And again, if you're not following along, please subscribe. But you'll know if you do, or if you have been following along, you know this is the famous bay window. This is where I start. I set my racks up and I start my seeds. But anyway, here's a large root, a large Coleus that I brought in because of the upcoming storm. Got lots of seed stalks growing in here. You can see they're starting to turn brown. You can actually see the seeds, and I know I mentioned in the last one, this is to the benefit of for you new people out there. You can see your seeds. You can see the little balls, the little dark round seeds in the back. You got some flowers. The fact that you have flowers on your stem doesn't necessarily mean you cannot cut your rooting. You're always going to get some flowers. The important thing is the color of the stem. And this is what I mean. Once your stem starts to turn like a brown, see you still have a couple of flowers here. This is one I just cut the other day. And it's been sitting out here, but once they start to brown, then it's time to definitely cut them. So again, this is my seed collection. And in another few weeks, I'll start to separate them. You can actually see the seeds falling out. Just by doing this, you can actually see the seeds fall out. So, but your seed stalks, when they're on the plant, are they're ready to pick when they start turning brown. Not this brown. This is pretty brittle right now because these have been in here for about 3 weeks. But when they start to show some browning, generally they show it on the base of the stem. Like here. Here's an example. So you can see, you see all those seeds? You see all those seeds? Now I got some flowers here. I have an abundance of these. These are Empire Kongs. I have an abundance of seeds for this. Again, if you're interested in getting some Kong seeds and other seeds from me, starting October, just mark this name down. It's Jim's Coleus on eBay. I do sell about 5 or 6 of my most popular varieties of Coleus that I feature on all my videos. But if you're growing your own seeds, or if you're letting your Coleus go to seed, here is a good example of a seed stem, a seed stalk rather, that's, even though it's got some flowers on it, is getting pretty close to being completely ripe, mature seeds. I'm going to give this some more time. Now again, you're always going to get flowers because these keep growing taller, and more flowers will continue to pop up. So base it on just keeping track of what you have, knowing how long your stem has been here, your seed stalk. You know, hey, this has been on for a month. It's starting to turn brown on the bottom. You know it's been being pollinated by insects. You're pretty confident by that time that it's ready to be picked and dried out. But here again, you have an abundance of really healthy looking seeds. And there's another beautiful Coleus. I just brought this in. This is on my patio table. So we just brought these in to protect them from the winds, the upcoming winds. Now here is a magnificent Coleus arrangement. Can't really tell. This is I saw this at one of the home stores. It's like a double bucket with a handle. So I just planted a few different Coleus. And look at this. This is outside. This stays outside. And I'm very lucky. No insects. Beautiful, beautiful Coleus. And that's what's really great about the Coleus. You just get yourself a pot. Make sure that the pot has drain holes on the bottom. And just plant a few different varieties. And it makes a wonderful arrangement. And these last for months and months. This is, I planted this back in, I think, early June. And they just go on and on. There's like a painted nettles. That's a mosaic. And of course, an Empire Kong. I love these Kongs, the Empires. If you want a really big, leafy Coleus that's going to make a statement, then the Kong variety is the Coleus you're looking for. Empire Kongs are the ones you're looking for. Okay, so we're outside now. This is one of my pots in the front. Here we are. Here is a perfect example of a Kong seed stalk that's ready to pick. See the brown? This is ready to go. So we're gonna pick it. And the ones in the back too. This is an Empire Kong. Look at that beautiful velvet. And they're all a little bit different. Some may have a little more here of the pink and darker up center. But that is a fully mature Coleus Kong seed stalk. Okay, so I hope this clarified it. Now, if you noticed in the last, and just where I closed from, that even the mature seed stalks that are brown, they're ready to pick, they're gonna have some flowers on them. So they're always growing out, where they're always developing new seed pods. So, and one stalk like that, one stalk will yield hundreds of seeds. So for the average homeowner, you don't have to have 50 seed stalks. You'll never be able to plant that many seeds, or even give them away, or sell them, or what you want to do. But don't base it solely. That's what I mean. Don't base it solely on the presence of flowers. The flowers are there; they're a necessity to lure in insects for pollination, because pollination is necessary for the maturity of the seeds and so forth. So let them brown, and you're going to have nice, mature, viable seeds. So I hope this helped out. Any questions, drop me a comment here. And of course, follow me on Instagram. It's the best way to keep in touch with me. Send me photos. I say it all the time, unless you're new here. Instagram, Jim's Holiest of Coleus, Instagram. Follow me. You can send me messages, pictures, if you have a problem with a Coleus or whatever, anything. Just send me a photo. I'll get back to you in a day or two. Give me some time. And again, remember, Jim's Coleus on eBay. I'll start my listings in October, first week of October or so. It depends. I have to brown these, have to separate them. Got plenty of time. And again, those of you on the other side of the world, Australia, unfortunately, this is your growing season, so I won't be able to get you some seeds until you have to wait a month or so. All right, so thanks for following, everybody. Have a great Labor Day weekend coming up shortly. We're getting ready to bat down the hatches. As I said, Ida is the tropical storm now, but along the coast here, we're always keeping an extra eye out for storms out in the ocean, obviously. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus. I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.